They get no elite defenses from last year until November 17th. Look at the quarterbacks all through this. Drake May, Jalen Daniels, Bryce Young, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, J.J. McCarthy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Chicago Bears in today's video. So Chicago Bears fans in general, already super hyped. You draft Caleb Williams, your franchise QB, and if Caleb Williams is pro ready, if he's generational like people are saying, if he really is the best quarterback prospect since maybe Andrew Luck back in 2012, Chicago's going to be good. They're going to be good for a very long time. But Bears fans are checking out this schedule, I'm sure, today that was just released a day or two ago, and I'm sure everybody is licking their chops. I'm licking my chops for the Chicago Bears right now because it's a lot of young year one or year two quarterbacks first half of the season, and we'll talk about that at the end of the video, or more, in a minute or whatever. But you play most of your divisional games. Your first divisional game is at home against the Green Bay Packers in week 11, so they play all of their divisional games from week 11 to week 18. So you're going to know pretty soon if the Chicago Bears are good, because you're at home against the Tennessee Titans, and then week 2 on the road against the Houston Texans, primetime Sunday night football. So if they hang in there, and if Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears take down CJ Stroud on national television, I don't care that it's week 2. I just think it would be very indicative and just kind of a foreshadowing event of how good Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears team will be, but not in the future right away. So welcome back to the channel. Obviously, we're talking about the Chicago Bears in today's video. If you guys would hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. Bears fans, if we try and get this video to 100 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So, Chicago morale right now is super high because the Bears' 6-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Keenan Allen in a trade with the Los Angeles Chargers. They signed dual threat, versatile playmaker running back in DeAndre Swift. They bring in more tight end depth, more tight end help to pair with Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett. And you sign guys like Coleman Shelton, Ryan Bates in free agency, and then you draft Caleb Williams, and then you draft Odunze at pick number 9. And it's just a completely revamped offense. I mean, it really is. So Williams will probably lead the Chicago Bears to a top 10 offense. Like I said, we're going to talk about this schedule in just a second here. But what a lot of people are missing the mark on here, we've talked about this all offseason, is you're playing with a defense that allowed 20 points or fewer in its last 6 games. Like, that's the Chicago Bears. If they had just a slightly better first month of the season, and if Justin Fields didn't get injured for a month or so, the Chicago Bears, in my opinion, at least have a 9-8 record. But some way, somehow, they still corralled their season after a brutal start, an injury to Justin Fields, and they end up going 7-10. So we know their roster has talent, but especially that defense. We'll talk about it a little bit later on in the video. But we saw a prediction here from Bleacher Report. For the first time since 2018, the Bears will finish with double-digit wins, and Williams will win Offensive Rookie of the Year, and they will go 10-7. So you only lost one big thing with additions or season in general. Everyone looks at additions, right? And people freak out about departures. What's great about the Chicago Bears is they really didn't lose much important starters other than Justin Fields, and obviously Caleb Williams pretty much negates that completely. Dan Feeney, Justin Fields, Dante Foreman, Darnell Mooney, Justin Jones, Nathan Peterman. Like, the Bears, there's not much turnover on the roster as far as losing important veterans, losing important players, right? They re-signed Jalen Johnson. You traded for Montez Sweat. You still got DJ Moore. You bring in Rome Odunze. You bring in Keenan Allen. So let's take a look at this Bears schedule here. Once again, your first, especially 6 games, first 5-6 games, you're playing really young quarterbacks. So you start off week 1 at home against Tennessee Titans, right? On the road, Sunday night football against the Houston Texans. Week 3 on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. You come back home for the Rams and the Panthers, and then you hit the road to London for the Jaguars. Now, don't sleep on teams like Tennessee. Definitely don't sleep on the Colts. The Rams are still good. Carolina could be a little bit better. Jacksonville's still Jacksonville, although they had a end of the season just dismantling. But if Chicago can get out of that stretch at just 3-3, you're probably going to make the playoffs, because once you come home from that bye in week 7, you go on the road. Jaden Daniels, the rookie, and the Washington Commanders with a brand new roster. Week 9, Kyler Murray on the road in the desert, Arizona Cardinals, and then you come home week 10, New England Patriots, and you're probably playing a Drake May who's already been the starter for a couple of games. So you could win 3 straight games before your first divisional matchup. So Chicago, through the first half of the regular season, could be 6-3 heading into divisional play. If they even just split it, right, you're 6-3. All right, the other teams in there are the Seattle Seahawks week 17 at home, and then you've got San Francisco week 14 on the road. But if you go through, if you split it with Green Bay, if you split it with Minnesota, if you split it with Detroit, you've just won at least 9 football games right there. And then if you win one against San Francisco or Seattle, you win 10. And, I'm feeling just really good because divisional games are always, you play them really hard. I have a feeling Green Bay will probably get the better of them at home. But then I think week 18, the Chicago Bears might pull off the upset there and win 10 or 11 games and make the playoffs. Divisional title, the NFC North, I still think that's in the Detroit Lions' hands. But the NFC North is going to be very exciting for years to come. One player, a lot of people are talking about the Bears offense, obviously, but it's mainly headlined by Caleb Williams. I feel like when people talk about Rome Odunze, they just kind of sprinkle him in there because, the big thing is like, all right, well, you know what, maybe Malik Neighbors' ceiling is higher than Rome Odunze, but Rome Odunze's floor is much higher than a guy like Malik Neighbors. I think Rome Odunze could have the best rookie wide receiver season just because Caleb Williams is competent. Caleb Williams, legitimately will probably win NFC Offensive Player of the Year for rookies. And I just think with DJ Moore getting doubled, you got Cole Kmet, a great red zone target, a great target in the middle of the field. You got consistent, reliable Keenan Allen. I think Rome Odunze will throw up a season with 50 catches for 820 yards with 6 or 7 touchdowns. And we talked about this, and I think it was our last Bears video. Dude, the Bears have the best wide receiver trio in the NFL. Yes, and it's not even close, dude. You have DJ Moore coming off a career season. The dude's a star. Keenan Allen coming off a career season, and you got one of the most consistent, probably the most consistent NFL-ready wide receiver in Rome Odunze. Now, maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. with Kyler Murray is going to have a great season, but neither here nor there. The point is still, Rome Odunze was drafted at pick number 9, and even though he's technically going to be a wide receiver 3, he's going to have a huge impact on the Chicago Bears this upcoming season. So Caleb Williams, you got your new center in Ryan Bates. You got your great right tackle coming off a great rookie season in Darnell Wright. And now you've got DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, Rashawn Johnson for Caleb Williams. Run game, pass game, doesn't matter. DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett. He's got so many weapons, and you've got a top 10 defense in the last month of, or the last half of the season. So, the Chicago Bears, it's not just hype. It's not just, oh man, if Caleb Williams is good, the Bears are going to be really good. That's a given. The Chicago Bears are already pretty good on paper as it stands right here, right now, even without their franchise QB having played a snap in the NFL. So that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Bears content. Guys, give me a win-loss projection based off of their schedule down below. Peace.